everyone, and welcome back. This is episode 5 of our little mini series of Meet the Cast. This time we are joined with one of our creative directors, Matt Neustadt. This time sporting a great quarantine beard, I see. How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. You're growing out the fisherman beard, the usual.
Well, it looks great, and we're super happy to have you, so thank you for being on the show. Sandra is back with us, being my little co-host as we're interviewing Matt here. So last time we talked about Chad and we interviewed him. We had a good time as we kind of set up some equipment. So there's a lot of good big things coming out in the near future for the show. But Sandra, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you? How's everyone?
I think we're all doing good. I think we're all ready. Matt, Sandra, you guys ready for the interview?
Yes, sir.
Let us get into it then. So the way this is going to go is Sandra and I are just going to keep going back and forth and asking you some questions. Give us your honest answers and let's get to know you, because this is your interview.
I'm almost honest, Matt.
All right, let's just get into it. So Matt Neustadt, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Some things we're curious about is your family, where you're going to school right now, your major, minor, and we'll add stuff on from there. But why don't you go ahead and give us a start from there?
Well, I'm currently at IVC right now, so I'm going there. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to still do. Currently doing some accounting stuff, some computer stuff. A little more about me as I've grown up, using computers, playing computers with friends. Very big nerd, growing up just kind of with the comics and all of that. Big fan of those. Go to car shows occasionally. I'm paralyzed, just DJ Wheels here in the house.
DJ Wheels, there we go.
So,
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we touched a little bit on episode 1, where we kind of introduced it. I mean, I'm sure you remember with Chris and Daniel Kubik was with us, and we were kind of talking a little bit about your situation and if you're comfortable, we just hope that you can expand a little bit about just your situation. So, I mean, our audience can kind of get to know you a little better.
Well, I am paralyzed. I've been paralyzed for about the last decade, pretty much. So it's kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster with that, but there's no complaints with it. At the end of the day, I mean, life deals you a deck of cards, and you gotta kind of work with your cards and play it out.
Sandra, hopefully we don't not distract.
And I realize deck is not the right word. It is a hand.
Yeah, hand, right? I don't want to detract from his interview at all, but Sandra, I did want to kind of comment, and I hope that I know that you can kind of speak to this too. One reason I love this guy so much is just because of his outlook on life. I mean, his positivity and his sense of humor is just amazing. And I don't know.
Matt,
can you explain it a little bit more than I can?
Matt honestly does not let anything get him down. Like, there have been multiple times where I'm stressed for Matt, and he's like, it's whatever, it's okay. Like, he has such a positive outlook on it. And normally I do, but when things get stressful, like, Matt's just kind of like, it is what it is, and I'm kind of like, I'm stressed for you kind of thing. So he kind of just go with the flow, and it's awesome that he has that impact in our group, which is really nice.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you ever get to meet this guy, I mean, you're gonna meet a stand-up guy. That's
you're gonna have a roller coaster fun of a time too.
Yeah, I kind of just say things.
Always have fun with Matt.
But no, I mean, it's in a good way though, because I think we all have fun and we all really appreciate your honesty and just your outlook and your positivity, when maybe some of us are maybe in a little negative space. So I don't know. I just kind of want to touch on that just because I think it's just such an integral part of your personality, and as well as, I mean, such an impactful part of our group as well. Within the podcast group and also, expanding from there, just our bigger friend group, it's just such an important part of that. So, anyway, Sandra, why don't you go ahead and continue? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Thank you. No, it's okay. So, well, Matt, you kind of told us that you go to IVC and you're still figuring out things, but are you hoping to transfer soon? And we hear you're wanting to go into more the computer major route and everything, what are like some future jobs that you hope to have in the future as well with that?
So yeah, I do plan on transferring. I plan on either transferring to like Chapman University or maybe even Cal State Fullerton, because both my parents went there and got
Oh,
great
cool.
degrees.
Mhm.
And like I kind of mentioned earlier, I'm kind of bouncing between accounting, teaching, or something with computers. It's kind of, I haven't narrowed it down yet,
That's okay. We're
but
all still figuring things out too.
yeah, we all are at this point still. I mean, that's college.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. So IVC, Irvine Valley College in Irvine, they're still trying to figure things out. Computer science, accounting, education. Chapman, there you go. I love it. Hope you we'll talk and hopefully we'll see what happens. But yeah, what about, I guess, kind of like in the future, like if you didn't have to kind of narrow it down right now, what would be kind of like your dream kind of job, or just what do you kind of see yourself or hope to envision yourself doing in the
Definitely
future?
something with communication. Definitely something with communication. You, as you guys have already mentioned, I'm a very big talker. I can go on for hours talking. I mean, that's just kind of something I'm good at, I guess. So something with communications has also been an interest of me. So that's also kind of why I decided to do this show, is because it is a form of communication, and it's something I enjoy.
I definitely like see Matt as like a big people person, so I can see you like definitely like being one of those people who just like talks on stage all the time, connecting with people. I could see you as a comedian honestly doing that, or like someone even just working at Disney and being like a tour guide, because you're just so great with everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if Disney would like me. I think I wouldn't take it
I
seriously.
don't think
It's
so
all right.
either, but like, something in that sense where you're meeting people all the time. Like, I feel like something like that would be like awesome for you, just because you connect well with like
Oh yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think the perfect example that I can sum up is exactly what's happening right now. This guy is live streaming this to his friends on
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, I got
Discord.
I got the boys in a Discord right now. They're listening to me, and they're like, change it so we can see everyone, and I can hear them, but I'm like not responding.
But I mean, that's just the type of stuff that you do that makes it so fun. And when we get to, I mean, obviously
Exactly.
before COVID, when we used to get together, you brought that liveliness to the group, and I think that it mixed well with everyone. So it's just a lot
For
of fun.
sure.
I think that's the message we're trying to tell you, or tell our audience about you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about that. So I think one last question in this kind of history of Matt Neustadt part is, look at him smiling over there in the Discord.
It's because I can hear other things going on, and I know what they're doing.
Yeah, no worries, man. We love it. The last kind of thing in this kind of section I want to ask you is, what involvements do you have kind of either in school or outside of school? I know it's kind of tough right now with COVID, but is there anything else you're kind of working on other than the podcast and school?
Not really. I go out with a bunch of the boys. We go fishing every week. But
That sounds like lots of fun. It sounds like lots of fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, fishing is a fun hobby that I've had. My friends Billy and Mike have gotten me into it. They are kind of people that push my limits to like what I like do. So I'm kind of glad that I have them.
That's
And
good.
it's funny because we leave just early in the mornings, like waking up at 3, being on the water by varies between 5:30 or 6 usually. We try to get out as early as possible. But
we can hear them arguing inside your heads. Not really loud, but just
right, you can hear them arguing. Maybe I should just have them come on the show.
I heard someone says we.
Oh my god, I'm muting
on the
them
water
now.
by 6. By 6, like. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So you can hear them.
Just a little bit, but it's okay. So we've established that you
that
love
is
to
not
fish.
okay. You do not want to know what they're gonna do. I know their plans.
Well,
no. Go ahead, Sandra.
So
I know their plans. It's not gonna be safe.
That's okay. So to continue on with our interview, how do you kind of know everybody? From Chris, both Daniels, myself, Chad, and Marco.
Um, so let me wait. So the question is, how did I meet them, correct?
Just
Or
a
like,
little
how do
bit
you
about
know
your
everybody?
history and the
Yeah.
group. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry, I
oh,
didn't
well,
mean
that's
to
a
talk
long
over her.
history. That's a long history in itself. Um, well, I met everyone that's in this radio show freshman year of high school. Sorry.
Not me.
Um, yeah, no, I met you freshman year.
I didn't go to that school freshman year.
Oh, wait. Never mind.
I met you.
Never mind.
So to clarify,
Okay,
I
I
went to
feel like I've
school.
known you since freshman year, okay?
Yes, but I've known you since sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore. Okay, there we go. But I've known everyone. Okay, besides Sandra here, I have known everyone from freshman year. I had Chad in my math
Mhm.
class. I had Marco in my math class. I had Daniel in my choir class. Chris was in my choir class. Cube was in my choir class.
John
Um,
was in your choir class.
John was in there as well.
Mhm.
Um, all we did in that class was mess around. We really did not take anything seriously. That was
In
all we
choir?
did. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was
I
a fine
remember
line.
just like the day before we would have an event is when everyone would be like, okay, let's just buckle down and like learn this in 10 minutes. For like the rest of the semester, it was just goofing off.
It was a fun time.
It was fun. It was definitely worth it. That's why I stuck in it there for 4 years, you know? I mean, it was worth it.
I mean, plus your beautiful voice, so come
Oh,
on.
totally. The bass.
Hey, there you go. All right, so we all got together in freshman year, and Sandra was the addition in the sophomore year.
Yeah.
So that's a very related question. Our next question is, tell us a little bit about your history with the brand. So going all the way back to fall, 2019 when we were around the world
At
with Chapman
Chapman.
Radio. Yeah, till now. What?
Mhm.
Let's
Well,
talk about it.
I remember when we first started this venture, we were all sitting at the Chapman Radio booth inside, and you guys invited me because I listen to a lot of music.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so you were like, "Hey, come on, we need a lot of music, we're basically playing the same stuff on repeat." And I'm like, "All right, I'll come in and I can give you some, weird music, whether it was, Russian music or I remember we played Russian, we played German music, we played what was the other didn't we
I think
what was the other
French
music that
music
we played?
too.
We played French music, German, English, everything. We played a lot of
Everything.
stuff.
So, it started there. I remember the first time I went on, we all discussed, like we were all sitting there talking, and it was an easy show. I mean, we went on for about an hour, I think, hour and a half. What was it?
Yeah, like an
Mhm.
hour. Mhm.
Whenever.
Yeah, and so we had an hour to do our block of radio show with, I think we did, Daniel, what was it? Was it 10 minutes total of music or was it 15
Of
realistically?
total music in the show?
Yeah, yeah, wasn't it about,
No, it was way more than that.
Maybe
At that
like
time, we
was
were
it? No, I thought we were doing
maybe
more talking.
40.
mm,
I felt like it
maybe
was a
that
pretty,
episode that we were
Maybe,
on, but
yeah.
I
uh,
mean,
We tried
we
to have an equal balance, if
yeah,
anything.
yeah, it was definitely balanced. Like, it was a good show. I mean, hopefully once the pandemic is over, we can go back into that booth and, be able to be there all in person, go from there and kind of have some fun with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And all right, so with that, why don't you expand a little bit about our rebranding into the intelligent world and your involvement with that?
All right. So, you know, I got a text from Daniel about a few months ago, and the text was, I want to start a brand. I want to take the radio show to a new level. And that was something that interested me from the initial beginning. So I texted him saying I'm in. And it turned into we needed creative directors, which me being my personality, I can be somewhat creative. And so I was like, just put me down for that. I can work with that. And it's been a very enjoyable time because I come up with the topics. I work with Marco mostly. So I work with him and we go through the topics and we pick which ones are basically what we deem valid enough for that night and which ones we can group enough together. So that way the show is in a fluid, constant state of the topics that are relevant. And that was kind of actually what I wanted to end up doing in the first place. So I was very happy that that was the role that I got in this. And then, we originally went into the show doing it for fun. And then we figured, hey, we could do this, see if it goes somewhere, hope it does. But at the end of the day, it's not just another job, it's something that we all do for fun. And that's kind of why it's stuck around for me, is because it's not just a job in a way. It's actually something enjoyable.
Well, with that being said, where do you see us going for the future?
I see it going places once we start doing more. Every radio show is difficult to bring up. I mean, you're not gonna start, at a high point. You start from the bottom, and then you got to carry it up from there and go up from there. I mean, so it's work. So, you have to, and the thing is with the radio show, you have to be unique. And that's what I think the show really is. What it really brings is it brings a unique cast together that, none of us are all one and the same. I mean, and we're not necessarily sticking to a strict script. I mean, half the stuff I say is just pulled out of nowhere, and it's like a ball coming out of left field. You're not gonna know what I'm gonna do because there's as much as it should be script. I have made it my personal goal not for it not to be script.
I think it's more fun that way too, right? When it's fluid.
Oh yeah,
think,
it's more loose. It's not like you're in a strict, just a strict schedule. I mean, you go from one, you say your piece, you throw in a few jokes, you see where that goes, then you move on to the next.
Yeah, man. Well, perfect. Sandra, what do you think? Are there any more questions that we should ask him? Or Matt, I'll extend this to you too. Or is there anything else that you kind of want to add on to your little interview here?
I mean, one thing I would want to add on is I'm just happy to be here.
We're happy to have you, Matt.
I mean, we could talk about how, how this originally came from thought to actual, this went from thought to paper to actually a production. I remember this was in a Google Doc. It was just a theory at that point. And, one day we actually made it happen. We were like, okay, this has been a thought. Now let's put it in the paper and see what we can get out of this. And it seemed like it just worked. It's just kind of came by itself together, and it was very impressive to me about how easily it just formed itself. Because most things you have to put in a lot of effort, but with this group, I feel specifically, you don't have to put in that much effort because everything puts in together because it's so natural for us. I mean, each of us are unique and we bring something different to the table, which is what a radio show, in my opinion, should do. And that was kind of my goal, was to find a cast that would be unique enough to be diverse and different from all the other things that I've seen, listened to, watched, whatever it is. You can be different. And that was my one thing going into this, as I told myself, this needs to be a different show than everything else. It needs to be different. So,
yeah,
Sandra?
Go ahead, Sandra.
I didn't have anything else to say. I was gonna we'll edit this out. I just have myself on mute because they're making noise right now. But anyways, so I don't have any other questions for Matt. Do you have any questions for Matt, Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, just to continue to keep the conversation going for a few more minutes here, I still remember being on what was it, like an hour-long phone call with Matt, because he really bought into this idea, and I'm really grateful because, we had all started this from the beginning, but as you guys might have heard from my interview or any of the other interviews we've done, when we were rebranding this, it was a very nebulous concept. It was, if this is going to take off, how much time are we going to spend doing this? But I think, like Matt said, it kind of has felt so effortless because we've all kind of done it together. And it's been, even if it's, 5 minutes before recording, hey, everyone get on, everyone kind of just brings their own thing to the table. So it becomes really fun. And that might be where it's a little bit unstructured and where some of the ideas have maybe strayed a bit from our mission statement. But I think the more we talk about, the more fun it is. And at least for the audience, I mean, I know if I were someone my age looking at a group of just us talking, I would be interested in just the ideas we have to say, just because I think we're not to toot our own horn, but I think we're an interesting group of people. Definitely a crazy group of people.
Yep. And I've learned my craziness from you guys and from the boys in the Discord. And
yeah, well, it's a lot of fun. I think with that, we will kind of conclude here. First of all, thank you, Sandra, so much for being here. I'm sorry if I cut you off a few times during this episode.
That's okay.
I think there's been a lot of background noise, but it's been a lot of fun. Matt, thank you so much for doing this interview with us, and thank you so much for being consistent with the team and putting in your ideas to the spreadsheet and making sure that we continuously have ideas to talk about. I really appreciate your work with Chris and with Marco. And
anytime, bub.
Is that what your friends told you to say?
No, that's a thing that we do say. We just call each other bub.
Gotcha. It was Doug, remember?
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of things we call each other.
Bub and Doug now, I guess, is our new thing.
Doug, bub.
Hey, well, it's all in good fun. So I think with that, any last statements, Sandra? Any last few thoughts?
Well, thank you for everyone for listening. We hope that you continue to listen and support us as we learn and grow from everything. And have a great day or night, whatever time you're watching us.
Yes, exactly.
And
thank you so much.
Again,
howdy, chowdy.
And thank you again, Matt, for joining us and for everyone's time.
Anytime.
Yeah. Any last things, Matt?
Ciao.
Oh, you're stealing it from Marco. I see how it is. Well, again,
no, ciao is mine.
He trademarks people, so it's his now. No, thank you again, Matt, very much, and again, thank you for supporting us. Make sure that you're following us on YouTube, on Instagram at The Intelligent World. I almost messed that up. I almost said something else. Make sure you're listening to us wherever you listen to your podcast. And again, thank you so much for supporting our show. With that, thank you. Bye.
No!